Good morning and welcome to the 69th Annual Graduation Ceremony of Valley Regional High School. This morning, we are social distancing in our homes, distanced but not divided, to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2020. I am Evan Benson, President of the class of 2020. I understand that this is not how we imagined gathering together to celebrate our successes over the last 4 years and what's to come for us in the future. Nonetheless, we come together as one in the only way that we can, because that is what we do. We are warriors. This day may be difficult because it is not how we pictured it, but that does not make it any less special. I encourage you to enjoy your time with your family and take pride in what you've accomplished, because today you've graduated high school and are starting a brand new chapter in your life. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. I would now like to present the principal of Valley Regional High School, Mr. Michael Burrill.
Graduates, Superintendent White, Mrs. Sandman, honored guests, faculty and staff, family and friends of the class of 2020, we welcome you this evening to the graduation ceremony of Valley Regional High School. First, I would like to acknowledge the service and express our gratitude and congratulations to the staff members retiring this year. Retiring from Chester Elementary School after 42 years, Jane Riggio. Retiring from Essex Elementary School after 39 years, Kathy Walsh. Retiring from Essex Elementary School after 21 years, Barbara Imbriglio. Retiring from Essex Elementary School after 36 years, Ann Roussel. Retiring from John Winthrop Middle School after 21 years, Laura Bonali. Retiring from John Winthrop Middle School after 30 years, Ann Ralston. Retiring from John Winthrop Middle School after 38 years, Wendy Waterbury. Retiring from John Winthrop Middle School after 21 years, Kathy Holmes. And retiring from Valley Regional High School after 30 years, Kathy Scott. Thank you, Jane, Kathy, Barbara, Ann, Laura, Ann, Wendy, Kathy, and Kathy for your service to our students and positive contribution you have made to the communities of Chester, Deep River, and Essex. Class of 2020, it gives me great pleasure to address you, our graduating students. You are now poised to enter your next phase of life, a step I know you are ready for. I've had the privilege to observe your many accomplishments over the last 4 years. Your commitment to success is to be commended. You have earned many recognitions and honors. Here are some of your collective highlights. Your academic performance in reading, writing, and math are nothing short of excellent. Your commitment to excellence paved the way for Valley to receive consistent recognition as a high school of distinction in Newsweek and U.S. News and World Report. Your intellectual curiosity and successful results across all areas of the curriculum led our school to obtain the accreditation of excellence by the New England Association of Schools and Colleges. In athletics, you have continued the drive towards excellence, contributing to our school's record of over 20 state championships and over 16 shoreline and Pequot championships. Your performance has been measured not only in wins, but also in character, conduct, and skill, earning the endorsement of the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference's Class Act School. You have been a driving force in personalizing the Valley Regional High School opportunities for students. More than 35 activities which support and promote students' academic, social, and civic development. In the visual and performing arts, your talent and creativity shines throughout our halls and on our stage. These talents also shine far beyond Valley, receiving recognition and reward at the state and national levels. You have created award-winning musicals, visual arts, performed music at Carnegie Hall, won top awards in Chicago, and produced 4 award-winning musicals. Your growth and maturity over these 4 years have been professionally fulfilling to observe. You embraced all that Valley had to offer, discovered your passions, and positively impacted those around you. Most mornings when I would arrive at Valley, I made the conscious decision to enter through the 400-wing doors of VRHS. It was your hallway, the senior locker hall. This was an excellent way for me to start the day. The brief greetings and smiles we exchanged and the important conversations we had about your passions and interests were times that I found meaningful and rewarding, and I will miss very much. The class of 2020 has achieved success in many diverse areas. You consistently demonstrated hard work and determination. Each day you displayed many positive attributes. However, there are 2 qualities that this class has had to demonstrate that makes all of you unique. Those 2 qualities are adaptability and perseverance. These 2 qualities have been tested this year, and when times were hard, you adapted to meet the changes and persevered when it became challenging. Whether you excelled in the classroom, the shop, or the lab, on stage, the court, or on the field, you have been presented with challenges and disappointments this year. However, instead of giving up, getting down, or becoming complacent, you adapted and persevered. We began the school year with enthusiasm and excitement. The weather was beautiful, a classic fall season in New England. Then, suddenly, mosquitoes infected with triple E halted our ability to be outside at dusk. Then, as winter turned into spring, another virus, COVID-19, limited our ability to interact in person and showcase your talents. This year's theme, as you prepare for a journey to a destination, carefully gather your essentials, tools to face challenges ahead, and memories you hold dear, characterizes our seniors well. The world and humanity will continue to change, but at an even more rapid rate moving forward. Inevitably, you will experience more disappointment and challenges. It is a part of life. However, it is our reaction to disappointment and challenge that determines the outcome and defines who we are. Therefore, I implore you to take the tools of adaptability and perseverance that you have learned so well at Valley with you to find success in your future pursuits. General Colin Powell, a retired 4-star general in the United States Army and retired United States Secretary of State, said, "There are no secrets to success. It is a result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." I am certain General Colin Powell experienced disappointment and challenges. However, like you, he was equipped with the tools of adaptability and perseverance to overcome them to find success. It is now your time to impact the world and solve future challenges that we may face as a society. I look forward to your continued success. Graduates, it's been an honor and privilege to be your principal. I look forward to your success in the future. Best wishes, class of 2020. At this time, I would like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Brian J. White.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. As I conclude my first year as superintendent, I applaud and celebrate your many achievements and how much you have grown as individuals during your time at Valley. I am very proud of each of you. This year's theme is the things you take with you. The theme invites each of you to reflect on the experiences you've had during your time at Valley and the people and relationships that have shaped the person you have become. It has been said that experience is life's best teacher. As I consider my own professional path, there are many lessons I have taken with me from previous positions that have served me well in the position of superintendent. I've been fortunate to have many great teachers and mentors along the way. I've also been rewarded with opportunities to grow every time I have taken professional risks and pursued new and more challenging roles. By keeping an open mind, an open heart, and embracing change, I have benefited from knowing some truly wonderful people along the way. It is these relationships that have enriched my life and career, and the many things I have learned from others are what I have taken with me from one experience to the next. As you continue through life, there will be many new beginnings. One experience prepares you for the next. New beginnings are often filled with excitement for the possibilities ahead. Sometimes, new beginnings can create uncertainty, and we find ourselves wondering what is to come. Regardless, change and new beginnings are inevitable. I encourage you to take with you the many great things that you've learned, the friendships you've made, and the many teachers who have helped you to grow during your time at Valley as you prepare for your new beginning. I encourage you to always aspire to the ideal set forth in the VRHS mission statement, as these tenets will truly provide a foundation for personal success in life. Additionally, I offer each of you the following words of wisdom. Know yourself. Always choose to do what is right. Never allow others to determine what you can or can't do. Always persevere. Find your passion and work hard at it. Be a lifelong learner. Make our world a better place for everyone in it. And never give up on your dreams. I hope you will always look back with fond memories on the time you have spent at Valley. You are well prepared to meet the future with success. A world of opportunities awaits you. After all, you're just getting started. On behalf of our faculty and staff, I wish you all the best as you continue your journey in the years ahead. Go Warriors.
Our first musical selection is Loch Lomond, performed by the Senior Vocal Honor Ensemble.
By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and me true love wherever want to gae, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep sides of Lomond, where But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of the
I would now like to introduce our honor essayist, Duncan McDonald.
Since we were in elementary school, graduation seemed like something far off in the distance, reserved for the tall kids, the adults. But now after this amazing, unforgettable, and sometimes tiring journey, we have finally arrived. The day is here, our day. All of our hard work and accomplishments over the last 12 years has led to this moment. While the reality of the situation is that today might not be the way we expect it to be, the meaning behind this day remains the same. This day still signifies the changing of our lives. It still signifies going out into the adult world. It still represents our future ambitions and plans. However, this day is also to remember and celebrate our past. Majoring in computer science in college, I tend to look at life through the ideas of programming. Our lives are filled with decisions. This or that, yes or no, ones or zeros. All these little decisions that we made over the course of high school define the people we are today. The clubs we joined, the sports we played, and the classes we took all had an impact on our lives and who we are as people. Ever since my first days at Valley Regional High School at 8th grade night and orientation day, I have seen the countless ways we've made decisions that make our individual experiences unique. The events we went to and were a part of had a profound impact on us. From the school assemblies to the Red Cross book trips and the language department trips to France and Spain, high school experience was filled. Warriors in the Community Day was a great experience that allowed us to take action in the community and reach out to help others, while also becoming closer with our peers. School dances such as prom allowed us to socialize and interact as well as celebrate. The excitement of Spirit Week came every fall, and although we never officially won, we all know who should have won. Valley sports and athletics are a large part of our school community and have impacted many students, whether you played on a team or if you just went to the games. VRMP is an award-winning musical production that has affected many students. Band and chorus were ways people could find a community. Everyone was able to find their own unique community. For me, my community was with the robotics team. Making the decision to join the robotics team has personally shaped me into who I am today and has impacted my life greatly. I have learned so much about engineering, hard work, and perseverance through robotics that have both helped me improve as a person, but have also helped me on my future path in life. Everyone has made decisions like this one that have shaped their lives. Much of our high school code ran smoothly with all our decisions, all our ones and zeros. However, being a programmer, I know that a program is never bug-free. Even though our high school experience has been filled with great moments and events, we also have been hit with bugs and obstacles that we've had to debug and overcome. And we did. Now, even though our high school computer program comprised of all the events, all the experiences, all the decisions, and all the choices we've made, Computer program cannot run with one important thing: input and output. Without input and output, a program is useless. The input to our high school program is all the bonds you have made together, all the friendships you have made, all the relationships we have formed, and all the teachers we've had the pleasure to learn from. These human connections are truly what let the program run. Without these connections to our peers, teachers, and Valley staff, our high school experience and program never would have been able to be complete. These friendships and bonds are irreplaceable. Finally, you, the person exiting high school, are the output to the program. Today, your graduation is the output. Today, we have finished a program and we move on to another. Today, we learn that the class of 2020 is truly unstoppable.
I would now like to introduce our salutatorian, Jenna Lomonico.
Look up. Tonight, tomorrow night, next month, years from now. Take a moment to look up into the sky, beyond our atmosphere, and at the stars. A few years ago, I had a conversation with one of my teachers. It was only for a few moments, but it sticks out in my memory. She read somewhere that the average person has only spent about 20 minutes in their lifetime looking at the stars. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but take a second to remember the last time that you looked up into space. Did you know that looking at the stars is essentially looking back in time? All those little points of light that form the constellations of our night sky are light years and light years away. The light from the farthest star that we can see with the naked eye is 16,000 years old. That's amazing, but also a little intimidating too. We're surrounded by a universe that we've only begun to explore, that we're separated from not only by space, but by time as well. But even as we look back in time at the stars, I like to imagine that we also look into the future. And that's what humanity has always seen when we gaze into space: the potential to do great things, to discover secrets our ancestors could only dream of. The manned exploration of space is one of our greatest ambitions, but it's one of the most difficult as well. Astronauts and scientists have worked with system failures, technical malfunctions, budget constraints, and uncooperative weather, but in the end, they emerged victorious. Like the heroes of the space missions, one of our class's defining qualities is our perseverance. We've adapted to many schedule changes, new standardized testing, and revised school policies. And throughout that all, our class has managed to shine as brightly as ever. We continue to strive for our best, to finish that school project on time, to get that essay just right, to master musical techniques or score just a few more points in the last second of a game. We've tried out some clubs, made a few new ones, we've met new people, helped others out, we've done our best to be proud to call ourselves Valley Warriors. I know that we'll adapt to today's challenges as well. Our bonds, our hard work, and our accomplishments are not diminished by what we're facing. I know that this isn't the end to our senior year that we were all expecting, but I also know that this won't stop us. We have a rich past to look back on. 4 years of amazing experiences that coronavirus cannot change. 4 years of studying, of friendships, of guidance and support. 4 years full of our own little points of light that represent each and every one of our accomplishments. 4 years of memories forming the constellations which represent the triumphs of the class of 2020. But we've also got a rich future to become excited for. All of our achievements in high school are now the launch pad from which we'll soar to incredible heights. So, years from now, when you've moved on from Valley Regional High School and you're out in the world, take a moment to look up at the stars. Look into the future at all the amazing things we have left to discover. But look into the past as well, and remember this moment, when our class overcame our own difficulties, when we persevered through everything the world could throw at us, and when we got back up to celebrate the stellar past 4 years we've shared together. Thank you.
I would like to introduce our valedictorian, Tanner Akins.
Hello, class of 2020. In preparation for this speech, I have watched a lot of commencement speeches. For the most part, they are all the same. The speech begins with this. Congratulations. I am proud to inform you that we have all finished high school despite its difficulties. At Valley, we've all done assignments which we found difficult, taken classes that confused us and inspired us, and we've also lost sleep over upcoming tests and quizzes. We've all done homework we didn't have time to do, and written papers at the last minute. We've all had schedule changes and did summer reading, and sometimes we put our cell phones in cell hotels, or as I like to call them, cellular hotelulars. We've all dealt with issues beyond classwork and beyond school too, and we've grown as a result of these challenges. And then this coronavirus thing. Who saw that coming? I didn't. We've missed a lot this spring, some of which we've been working towards for years. But it is not the end of the world. We still got to experience our freshman year, our sophomore year, our junior year, and even most of our senior year. And in fact, there's a lot more to life than high school, especially if you approach it with the right attitude. Personally, I've had a lot more time to walk the dog with my dad. I'm playing violin duets with my mom a lot. I've also been playing board games online with my brother and sister. I've taken up hobbies which I didn't have time for, and I'm spending a lot more time with my cat. These days, I'm actually reading for fun instead of just reading for classes. I'll admit, the AP tests were strange and stressful, but at least they were shorter. So, although this is a difficult time, I think we should all take another look, and maybe even be grateful that we got to live through such a strange time as this. We are the class of 2020. In many ways, our class is the same as everyone before and after, just like this commencement speech. But you'll notice that this speech is not quite like the others. For one, you're seeing me in a video rather than in person. This would not be possible without the technology available to our current generation, and it wouldn't be necessary without the crisis we're currently facing. In the same way, our class of 2020 is unlike any other. Growing up with cell phones and memes, we are among a generation of adults well acclimated to the technology that drives our modern world. But more importantly, even more uniquely, we are the class whose senior year was interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. We may be the 69th graduating class of Valley Regional High School, but we are the first to have a drive-through graduation. Nice. Now, it is easy to look at the present situation of the United States and see despair. But there is also hope. Just last month, 2 astronauts were launched to the International Space Station by a commercial Falcon 9 rocket, representing not only a new era of space travel, but also a remarkable cooperation between hundreds of intelligent people to pull off incredible feats. There have been tough times before, but on the whole, the world is actually getting a lot better in a lot of ways. And it will continue to get better, not only despite, but sometimes because of the challenges we face. I will play my part in improving our society through engineering, because I believe that innovations of technology will play a part in remedying the challenges of the future. But so will meaningful and thought-provoking artwork. So will beautiful and emotional music. So will efficient and novel entrepreneurship. So will skillful and critical writing. So will careful and dedicated medical care and research. And so will honest and determined diplomacy. And so will talented and inspirational athletics. As we move forwards in our lives, and as the world moves forwards towards the future, there will be setbacks, but there will also be progress. Most commencement speeches will finish by calling upon you to make a profound impact on the world. Sometimes I think these commencement speeches ask too much of their graduates. I am not asking you to be the next great CEO or next United States president, but I am asking you to be the best person you can be. I am not asking you to be the movers and shakers of our generation, but I am asking you to strive for positive change and stand up for what you believe in. I am not asking you to be the greatest graduating class of students who ever lived, but I am asking you to do your best. I'm asking you to be reasonable and respectful. I'm asking you to decide what is meaningful and important to you, and to define what it means to be the class of 2020. Thank you.
Our second musical selection is A Million Dreams. performed by our Senior Instrumental Honor Ensemble.
Miss you, everybody.
Since 1982, Valley Regional High School has been presenting an annual award to honor those graduates who have achieved excellence in their postgraduate endeavors. These honorees have been selected by a committee consisting of local citizens, including students, teachers, and town officials. I am pleased to announce this year's winner, who is Kenneth Bombassi, class of 1962. Mr. Kenneth Bombassi, a resident of Essex and graduated from Valley Regional High School in 1962. While attending Valley, Kenny was a gracious friend and was always willing to help others. Mr. Bombassi went on to build a successful business. His business employed many from our three towns over the years. Mr. Bombassi is a supporter of education and has always generously given back to the towns of Chester, Deep River, and Essex. Mr. Kenneth Bombassi certainly exhibits the characteristics of Valley Regional High School's Hall of Fame award recipient. Congratulations. Mr. Bombassi would now like to say a few words.
Hi, I'm Ken Bombassi, the recipient of this year's award, Valley Regional High School Hall of Fame Award. I'd like to thank the person who nominated me and the committee. I'd also like to thank Stacia Libby, who was filming this, and Don Peralt, who gave me some guidance. I'm a graduate of Valley Regional High School in 1962, and I really enjoyed my years at the high school. In fact, I could do it all over again. When I was 14 years old, I wanted to start a lawnmower business. So I went and asked my mom if I could borrow $100. And she said, I don't have $100. She says, get down to the bank and see if you can borrow $100. And so I rode my bicycle down to the bank and walked in the bank, and I saw her tell her what I wanted, and she said, go see the president. So I went in, saw the president, introduced myself, and said I want to borrow $100. I told him what for. He gave me a white piece of paper to fill out, and he says, take this home, fill it out, have your mother co-sign it, which I did. Rode my bicycle back down to the bank, got the $100, went to Charlie Potter's on Maple Avenue in Essex, who sold lawnmowers, brought it home, and I went up and down the street trying to find customers, and I found a few that I could mow their lawn. That summer I made over $100. I paid the bank back. I had some left over. I started my business when I was in high school in 1959. I borrowed some money from my parents for a pickup truck, and I went out and bought a chainsaw, some landscaping tools. I put on the side of the truck, Kenneth Bombassi, tree removal, landscaping, and lawn mowing. So I put an ad in the Penny Saver, and I got enough work. I had plenty of work. I had enough to do after school and on all weekends. My teachers at Valley Regional High School supported me along the way. They really gave me a lot of support. Many of them, or most of them, became my clients over the years. I'd like to give a shout out to a few of them. This Coach McKee, he'd stop and see me every year and encourage me. Mr. Groth was my woodworking shop teacher. He taught me how to build a desk, a 6-drawer desk out of mahogany, and I still have it to this day. Mr. Hennebree, he was my math teacher. He became a client, and he did well with teaching me math. Mr. Silva, he was an industrial arts teacher. He taught me how to weld, how to use a lathe, and many other tools. Mr. McSweeney, he was the English teacher. He taught me probably more than any other English teacher in high school. Mr. Gross, my 7th grade teacher, he's still living, and he every time I see him, he says, Ken, I can tell you what row and what seat you sat in 7th grade. I just like to say a house is only built on the good of its foundation, and those teachers built a good foundation for me when I left high school. I owned and operated Bombassi Tricks for 55 years. I was fortunate to have my wife Judy standing behind Stacia, and my sons Ken and Mark joined me in the family business. I retired in 2012. Now I am retired. I don't have an office desk anymore, so we are filming this in my garage. I collect antique automobilia. This is behind me. It's a replica of my Uncle Jim and Charlie Bombassi's gas station. It was in Centerbrook, and it's where Dunkin' Donuts is now. I used to be there, and it's a gas shell station today, and it was back then. Some of the things that I did over the years in the community, I was a member and president of Essex Lions Club. I was a member and president of the Centerbrook Cemetery Association. I was a member of the Connecticut Tree Protection Association over 50 years. Member of the Connecticut Board of Directors of the Connecticut Tree Examining Board. I was appointed by 2 governors, and I was the chairman of the board. Essex Zoning Board of Appeals and the Tree Committee, that's just a few. I'd like to say something about the graduating class. The hard work and determination certainly do pay off. If you try something, don't expect it to happen overnight. It takes sometimes years to get where you want to go. But no one ever tell you you can't do something. if you let them, if they tell you you can't do something, you're beating yourself. So try to do what you try to work hard, and you will succeed. I also like to encourage you to reach out to successful people. If you want something, you want to do something, ask a successful person. 99 out of 100 successful people will mentor you. They'll tell you the ins and outs of the subject that you want to engage in. So I encourage you, just speak to encouraging successful people. Once again, I'd like to thank you and so much for choosing me for this very prestigious award. I'd like to extend my best wishes to the class of 2020. It's got a nice ring to it. Thank you.
And now to present the senior class gift, the class of 2020 officers.
As treasurer and secretary of the class of 2020, Caroline and I would like to present this gift on behalf of the entire class.
To celebrate all of our accomplishments and the accomplishments of the many graduating classes to come, our class gift of a new graduation banner will hold a special meaning here at Valley Regional.
Mrs. Sandman, I hereby certify that the members of the class of 2020 before you today have met the requirements of the Regional School District 4 Board of Education and the State of Connecticut for the high school diploma. I am honored and proud to present to you the class of 2020 for the presentation of diplomas.
My fellow board members and I are proud and pleased to accept the superintendent's report. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
And now, a few words from our Vice President of the Class of 2020, Riley Bauer.
And now, with the members of the Class of 2020, please rise and flip your tassel from right to left. Although in this moment we are distanced, we are not divided. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the 2020 graduates of Valley Regional High School.
Alma mater, pride and glory be thine. Goodwill and fellowship through thy portal shine. Stand beside us, there to guide us, wave thy banner on high. Sons and daughters, rise and cry, hail, all hail, Valley High. Alma mater, when in sorrow we part, long may thy memory dwell within each heart. Years of treasure, tears and pleasure, ever with us abide.